Okay, welcome everybody to Focus 4 to 5, asking questions. My name is Oscar, and today I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Terry. Hello, Terry.
Hi, Oscar. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yes, I am keeping relatively busy during this time, and I am waiting for it to get a little warmer to go outside. I went.
It was nice last week, but this cold weather is going to be here for a few days. And then, unfortunately, while the temperature might creep up a little bit next week, it's going to rain all week. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's your weather forecast for today.
Thank you. Well, that'll make the quarantine a little easier to stomach, I think. I went to Esselunga yesterday, and I queued for nearly 2 hours. So don't go during midday. It's not a good time.
Just to get in or to get groceries?
Just to get in. Yeah, it was a long queue, and it was freezing. I didn't realize how cold it was. I just had a light jacket, and I was in the wind and everything. It's not smart. But yeah, how are you, Terry?
Well, yeah, I'm not better, but I'm not worse. So we'll just.
Okay.
Yeah, the cough, the everything. It's hanging. It's more than 2 weeks now. So
anyway, you're pretty fed up with it. Pretty done.
Yeah, but you know what? At least I don't feel like going out.
Oh, that's good as well. Oh dear. Okay. Hello, Bruno. Thank you for joining us, Bruno. Good. All right. Terry, would you like me to read this?
That would be wonderful, Oscar.
Sure. Okay. All right. Asking questions. In this focus activity, question words, asking questions, learn the quasi trick.
Quasi trick?
A quasi trick, yes. Very exciting. All right. Bruno, you are going to have an individual lesson on YouTube. You lucky man. Right. We're going to do some of these. Put the words in the correct order. But we're going to need you to do some, Bruno. So we'll do the first one.
Well, the first one is a little bit tricky because the question word is really question words. It's not a question word like who, what, when. It's a series of words that tell us what the question is about. So that's more difficult.
Yeah. Would you like to answer it, Terry? Number one?
I'm pretty sure that the first word is what, and the second is kind, because we use what kind to ask what variety, what type, que tipo. So if it's what kind, then we have to have a subject that goes with it. So I'm pretty sure that's what kind of books, similar to what kind of music, what kind of clothes. So what kind of books do you like?
What kind of books do you like? Yeah, got it here. Nice. What kind of books do you line? Math books.
Sorry, that was mine. I was talking and typing at the same time.
Bruno, we're going to ask you to do number 2. Bruno, put these in the correct order to make a question, okay?
And someone has joined Bruno. A student has joined Bruno. So please tell us your name, where you're from, and then become a really interactive part. Help Bruno and help us to put these other questions in the correct order.
Or if it's another English teacher, you're allowed to ask us any questions as well. Okay, Bruno, number 2, you are going to get some points if you get this correct, okay? I will do points for you, Bruno.
Do I get points?
You get points, Terry, definitely. 100% you get points. Special Terry points. While Bruno does number 2, I'm going to ask you number 1. What kind of books do you like, Terry?
Well, I have 3 favorite authors, and they are all very different genres, different kinds of books. So I love John Grisham, and he writes legal thrillers. I love Stephen King, and he writes horror and suspense. And then I love Anne Rice, who writes about vampires and witches and things, but she writes about them from the human element, which is a really strange aspect.
Okay, good. I like it. Good. Bruno. Oh, sorry. Who do you admire in your family?
That is a good way to ask it. There is another way, Oscar.
Who in your family do you admire?
That's exactly it.
But is there a difference, Terry, or would you say they're both equal?
I would say they are absolutely identical. I think in a sense it's kind of a preference. What do you think?
No, I agree. Good. Bruno, you have your first point.
Yay!
But with a question, remember, question mark at the end, Bruno, okay? But very well done. Good.
Excellent.
Number 3. Bruno, number 3? What do you think? Do work when they? What's the question, Bruno?
And while Bruno and our other student out there who has yet to tell us the name and where they're from, Oscar, who in your...
Bruno's on it already.
Bruno's faster than me.
Very good. Remember.
Question mark.
Yeah. When do they work? Question mark, Bruno. Okay. But you have your second point. Fantastic.
But you know what's great about what Bruno was writing? Bruno is remembering to put the first letter in uppercase, capital, mayúsculo. Most students don't remember to do that. So way to go, Bruno.
Good. So just 4, 5, and 6 left, Bruno. Okay. We believe in you. You can do this.
Oscar, who do you admire in your family?
I suppose I admire my dad. I just think he's a great guy.
That's wonderful. What does he do?
He does like a few things. He was a travel writer, which I thought was quite cool.
Wow.
And he's trying to write a book, trying to finish a book. It might not be the next Stephen King though, but hopefully. Have you read Stephen King, The Dark Tower?
I have not. It's one of the few that I have not read, but Domenico has read it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Has he read it in Italian?
Yes. He always reads in Italian, so.
Yeah, it's an incredible series, and quarantine might be a good time to get into it.
I have just recently downloaded the full collection of John Grisham books, and I always read because it relaxes me. So I have read 4 books in these 2 weeks.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't see
Bruno.
4 yet, Bruno. And I don't see our second person telling us who they are. Are you shy?
It might be a director of studies, I would guess. It might be. Number 4, homework his does where he do. Bruno, what do you think for number 4? What's the correct order of words here?
So we're always going to start, if there's a question word, that's always going to be the first word, but Bruno knows that. We can see from his other questions.
Yeah. Okay. What about, so who do you admire in your family, Terry?
Well, I admired my grandfather. He was probably the best man that has ever lived. But since he is no longer with us, I would say that I admire my grandmother. She is a very strong woman, and she's just incredible.
Oh, very nice. Okay, good. Like it. Bruno, you are in danger of letting one of us get this point. We might have to do it, and then you'll have...
Can I?
Terry, you can go for it.
Oh, Bruno, too fast. Oh. Now, Bruno, something, and in a sense, I'm kind of happy that I'm a little content that there is this mistake. Remember that with the question word, it's immediately followed by the verb, and it's that first verb after the question word that will be conjugated to the person. So do is the verb in infinitive. And if we're talking about he, it's third person. So it has to be where does. So swap do and does. I'll write it, Oscar.
Okay, you go.
Where does he do his homework?
Good. But you are going to get a point for interacting anyway, Bruno, so very good. Okay. Yay! Lots of points here. Number 5. You turn on the How Do TV. That sounds like a, I don't know, Southern America kind of thing. Like you turn on the How Do TV?
Sounds like something right out of Mississippi or Alabama.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's interesting, though, Oscar, that there are 2 words. How do you turn on the TV? Perfect, Bruno. Remember that question mark.
Yes, so, Bruno, you will get the point if you can give us a question mark. Then I will give you another point.
All right, but it's interesting that there's 2 words together in question 5. Turn on. So that's not separated. Interesting. Yeah. Why is that?
Well, it's a verb and a preposition. So it's a phrasal verb.
And what is a phrasal verb?
It's a verb that describes an action.
But eat and jump are verbs that describe actions.
But a phrasal verb has a preposition.
Okay, so would you say that it's a verb and preposition together that create a new verb that changes the meaning of both the verb and the preposition?
Absolutely, I would, Terry. I couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, number 6, Bruno. Number 6. What is the correct question? And what do we need at the end of the question? Remember, something we need at the end. How do you turn on your TV, Terry?
I don't, because I don't have a TV, Oscar.
Yeah.
How do you turn on your TV?
Oh, I'm a millennial, Terry. I haven't had a TV since I moved out. No, it's just the laptop for me.
Bruno gave us the question mark, so we have to give him the point.
Good, very good. Okay, cool.
All right, so I think question 6 is the most important question. I want Bruno to give us the question and his answer.
Okay.
Or can we give him the question and he gives us the answer?
Why don't I ask you, because I'm sure he'll get the question. Let me ask you, how do you study Italian?
How do I study Italian? It depends. Sometimes I study with books. And other times for example, on Sunday, I took 3 online placement tests to understand how I was progressing and what it was that I'm not understanding.
Very good.
It was I wasn't understanding.
Okay, lovely. All right, so what's question 6, Bruno?
So, Oscar, you study Italian, correct?
See.
Why do you study Italian?
Why do I study Italian? Because I like communicating with people. I especially like communicating with people who don't speak English, because I think it's really cool to unlock a whole, millions of people that you can talk to with their language and discover their story. I think that's really cool.
I do too. I love studying Italian because there are certain things that I think a language is really the key to a culture. And I think if a person doesn't understand the language, at least on a conversational basis, they'll never really be able to understand the culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
I study English because I like to travel, or I like traveling. Excellent, Bruno. So, thank you.
Very good. Well done. You are the points leader, Bruno. Well done.
Don't I have a point yet?
For your phrasal verb definition, yes.
Yes. Very good. I got a point.
Good stuff. All right, lovely. Done. Can you name the question words? Well, I'm sure Bruno could do that.
I'm sure he can. He's an expert at questions. But this one is really a little bit more difficult. So, Bruno, just in order, tell us, you don't have to write who is for, what is for, but each of the question words is, I know you're alone, but you're not alone. You're with us. Yeah. So, tell us who is for, what is for example, who is for...
Yeah, who is your teacher?
Who is the Minister of Health?
Yeah. Who is your father? Yeah.
Look, I am your father.
That's not the best impression of Don I've ever heard.
Sorry.
Sounded like you just cupped your hand. Didn't really capture that moment.
Pretty much exactly what I did. So.
Okay. So yeah, it's like information. What kind of information do we use who for? Well, I guess we could do this together then.
I'm doing the first one.
Okay, good. Yeah. Who is for people?
Yeah. Who is for English? Who is for teaching English? I'm not quite sure.
Maybe I confused you, Bruno, with my example. But if I say, who is your teacher? My teacher is James, who the information is people. Yeah. Who is your teacher? Okay.
So what we want is really the general idea. An English teacher, a brother, a father, a president. So these are all people. Who is for people? And what?
Yes, Bruno, what? What is the information?
What do you want for dinner?
I want pizza for dinner.
I made pizza on Saturday night.
What pizza did you make?
I made one pizza margherita and I made one pizza with salumi and two kinds of cheeses. Two
Very
kinds of
nice.
cheese.
Good. Yeah.
What does your bicycle look like?
My bicycle is red and old. What is your favorite color?
My favorite color is periwinkle. Exactly, Bruno. What is for things?
Well, I'm
Perfect.
not letting that slide under the radar. I need to Google periwinkle.
It's a very specific shade of a blue that you can usually see in the sunset in spring. Bruno, how about where? Where is for Bruno? Oscar, where do you work?
I work at the Via Baracca School in Florence. Terry, where do you live?
I live in an apartment near the center. Oscar, where are you from?
I am from England. Terry, where did you go to university?
I went to two different universities, one in Washington State and one in Idaho. Oscar, where do your parents live?
My parents live in England and South Africa.
Okay. So, when do they work? Good question structure. Oh, wait, that's an old one. Sorry. I have the thing still open. All right. So, can you go ahead and put what up there for us, Oscar?
Oh, absolutely.
So, if you have joined us, please tell us your name and where you're from, and help us to answer these questions. So, who is for people? The question who tells us, the answer tells us the person. What is for questions about things? Bruno says, where is for place? Where you are or you live. Okay. Where is for place?
Good.
Okay. When? Oscar, when do you wake up in the morning?
I wake up at 8 a.m. Terry, when is your birthday?
My birthday is March 23rd.
Wait, that means it was yesterday. Oh, Terry, I'm so sorry. Happy birthday.
I didn't tell anybody.
Okay, oh, I'll keep it a secret, but happy late birthday.
Well, thank you.
Good, yeah.
When is for time or exactly, Bruno? When is for time
Nice.
or a date? Excellent.
Well, no point there.
All right. So if you have joined us, don't let Bruno take all the points. Tell us your name, where you're from, and interact with us. That's why we're here. So, Oscar, why do you live in Italy?
I live in Italy because I love the country and the food. Terry, why do you like cheesecake?
Well, I don't particularly, unless it's the cheesecake I make. And then I like it because it is a light, yummy, delicious cloud of goodness.
It is. Cheesecake is life. Terry's cheesecake is life.
Oscar, why do you teach English?
Because I have many reasons to teach, such as I enjoy communicating and I enjoy developing the skill of teaching and living abroad. Lots of reasons there.
Lots of reasons. Good.
All right, we'll put a timer on that then. We'll say why is for reason. Okay.
Excellent. Now, which is something that I often hear Italians. But they are all questions, Bruno. These are all question words. So why is for the reason? Why when you ask why, you want the reason for something, but these are all questions. I understand what you're saying though. It's the question, So we want the reason. Excellent. It's the All right. So which is a question that I often hear Italians use when they should use what? Okay. So what is a really general? The answer could be almost anything. So for example, what do you want for dinner? But Oscar, if I ask you, what do you want for dinner? That's one question. If I ask, which do you want for dinner? Pizza or spaghetti?
As
Bruno.
Yeah.
Yes, Bruno.
Very good. It's a choice.
That's a difficult one. And he spelled it correctly. And he didn't say choose, choice. That should be an extra point.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he doesn't need it, Terry. I'll be honest, you are not close to this guy, but I will give him another. Okay, how is for? Yeah. How do you make a cheesecake, Terry?
Oh, well, first I grind the cookies to make the crust. And then I blend the eggs and the cream and the cheese and the sugar and the flour until it's ready, and then I bake it. So, Oscar, how do you like your eggs?
I like my eggs poached usually, yeah, or scrambled. I could also do scrambled. Happy, yeah. Fry up in the morning. Poached, I think, yeah.
Poached is my favorite.
Yeah. Egg and soldiers. Did you ever have that as a kid?
Soldiers?
Yeah. It's when you just have the egg and then you crack it with a spoon.
And then what do you do with it?
And then you eat it, or you can put little bits of toast in it. I'll explain it to you more later. It's delicious.
All right. So Bruno says, how is to explain? I understand what you're saying. You were saying that you explain the way, you explain the mode in which you do something or you like something. I think that that's close enough, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay. The condition or the mode, okay. But then how is the most interesting to me of all the question words, because how and what? No, pretty much how, because how is combined. We put how with so many other words to make questions. How much, how many, how far, how long, and how often. Bruno, how often is used for. So, Oscar, how often do you go to see your parents?
I see my parents twice a year. Terry, how often do you go to Rome?
I love Rome. I try to go to Rome at least 2 times a year.
Yeah, kids like it.
Oscar, how often do you teach English?
I teach English nearly every day, almost every day.
All right. So Bruno says, how often is for the frequency. Okay, frequency. Excellent. Bruno knows his questions.
Yeah, it's doing good. Very nice.
Okay.
Okay, quasi. The quasi trick. Follow this easy trick to remember the word order. QU question words. A equals auxiliary verb. S subject. I infinitive. Why do we study English? Or why does she study English?
Exactly. That's the important thing to remember, that when there is an auxiliary verb, it is that auxiliary verb that is conjugated to the person and to positive or negative.
Yeah. When does the movie start? Okay. Now, should we ask Bruno to make some questions for us?
I think so.
Okay. Should we go back?
Yes.
I think he's got some examples there, I think.
All right.
All right. I'll do this. Ask us some questions. Good. Ask us some questions. In the meantime, Bruno, ask us some questions. I will be asking Terry. Terry, do you like horror films?
I like good horror films, and the problem is that most horror films now are just splatter and not really scary. Oscar, oh, where does my teacher live? Okay. Or where does your teacher live? Perfect.
Good. But Bruno, remember the question marks. Okay. Very important. Okay. Okay, cool. Where does my teacher live? Terry, where do you live?
I live near Piazza Savonarola in Florence.
Okay, cool.
Oscar, where do you like to go on Sunday?
On Sunday, I like to go to the park if the weather is nice, or explore a town in Tuscany if I'm not in quarantine, of course. Terry, do you like to paint?
Oscar, I have never tried painting. Oh, Oscar, do you like skydiving?
I have skydived once, but I don't think I will do it again. Okay. Bruno, what style of music do you like? Has he used the question mark? Is his keyboard broken?
Hang on. I'm looking.
I can't see it. I'm going to assume, Bruno, that you cannot do the question mark, and that's why you can't do it. What style of music do you like? Good. I'm going to give you another point, Bruno, but I think Terry would have to do very well to catch up at this point, or me. What style of music do you like, Terry?
I love all kinds of music. Last night, we were listening to country music. We were listening to 1960s folk music. We also listened to a little classical yesterday, a little bit of rap. I love all kinds of music. What types of music do you like, Oscar?
I also like sort of hip hop, pop, alternative. indie, electronic, maybe a little bit of house if I'm in that mood, and some classic rock as well. Yeah,
Excellent.
cool.
Excellent.
Should we ask Bruno? Bruno,
Bruno.
what style of music do you like? Let us know. Good. All right. Terry, what's the best film you have ever seen? Or what's your favorite film?
You know, it's really difficult to choose because there are many films that I really like. For a horror film, I think my favorite movie is The Shining.
Mm,
The book was even better.
I don't read horror books. I couldn't take it too much.
That's one that's really difficult to read. When I read The Shining, I think I read it in 3 nights because it scared me so much I just couldn't sleep.
I'm not surprised.
What is one of your favorite movies, Oscar?
One of my favorite movies is Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh, I love that film.
It's good, isn't it?
It is.
I like popular French music and rock of 70s.
Rock. You like rock from the 70s? Do you have a favorite group from the 70s, Bruno?
Yeah. And remember French, capital F, like popular French music.
Oh, good catch, Oscar.
That's right. Okay, cool. Yeah, where does your teacher live? I think he could do these as well.
I'm sure he can. Bruno is amazing. And questions are usually one of the more difficult parts of English. So, Genesis, Phil Collins, excellent taste, Bruno. I like Bruno.
Okay.
I could hang out with you, Bruno. We could listen to music. All right. So, hobbies. Okay. Go ahead, Oscar.
What do you like to do in your free time?
I like to go for walks in the center. I like to get on a train and get off at a random stop to visit a new little town. And I like to read. What do you like to do in your free time?
Yeah, I like to explore Tuscany a bit. I like to read and to watch films and TV shows. And I like finding hidden spots. That's my favorite thing, like getting off the beaten path when I can leave my apartment. Yeah.
So, Bruno, as we go through these questions, we can see that your question structure is really great. So now, as we answer these questions, go ahead and answer them for us also. So just type your answer and yay! Thank you, Bruno. I like to go skiing in winter and hiking in summer. Excellent. Do you have a favorite place you like to go skiing or hiking? Okay. Oscar, why do you like to find these hidden gems that you speak of?
I think if they are hidden, then they are a bit more special. The most amazing places in the world usually full of crowds, which is a bit of a shame because sometimes you want something to feel a bit more personal. Like this is my experience. So that's why I like, and you know, with a friend, maybe two friends is fine as well. But yeah, I like having that.
Excellent.
Would you agree?
I would definitely agree. I have found some really beautiful places that I didn't know existed only because I took a wrong turn here or there.
Absolutely, yeah. I always get lost, so I think that helps. Good sentence, good punctuation, like it.
Now, in the Alps, isn't it in the Alps?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
But no,
Good.
absolutely wonderful. And these articles, when we use the in English, is very different from when they would use it in Italian. So prepositions and articles are often, even though they're the shortest words, they're the bigger problem because we use them in such different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Why do you like reading?
I like reading because it lets me escape reality. I go to a new place, and when I read, it lets my imagination create the scenery, the environment, and it's really relaxing.
Very nice, like it. Yeah.
So, Bruno, why do you like skiing and hiking?
I'll type it out. Yeah. Why do you like? Carrie, do you like hiking?
When I was in America many years ago, before I went to Iraq, I used to go hiking almost every weekend in the summer, spring, summer, and fall. How about you, Oscar? Do you like hiking or skiing?
Yes, I really like hiking and skiing. I like hiking up a mountain, getting those amazing views, getting fresh air. Skiing, really fun. I'd like to go skiing sometime soon. Yeah, so we'll see.
This year, I think not, but next year, I hope, because I like to be outdoors. I like to be outdoors and have beautiful landscapes. Have beautiful landscapes? I think we need a different verb. You're not going to have a beautiful landscape. You're going to
Yeah, maybe to see or about to experience.
perhaps even. Absolutely. Great.
Really
Okay.
good, Bruno. Thanks.
Really great. So let's see. Oscar, who do you like to? You said you like to travel, you like to take short trips in Tuscany. Who do you like to travel with? And Bruno, who do you like to ski or hike with?
Yeah. I like traveling with maybe friends or my girlfriend or myself. I think it's nice to experience something by yourself sometimes as well.
Now, with
Yeah,
yourself or by yourself?
I'd say by myself.
I would too. I don't know that I would say with myself unless I'm having one of those split personality days.
Is that, did I say that earlier? With yourself, yeah. No, but you can spend time with yourself,
I
can't
spend
you?
time by myself.
I think in that I could say it both ways. I like traveling with my wife and friends. Very good, Bruno. Lovely.
Absolutely perfect. And extra point because you remembered double L on traveling.
All right, extra point then. Okay.
Not that you need them, Bruno. You've got more points than anybody else. You
I'll
have
give
more.
you a look.
You have
You
more
might
points
be
than me.
you might be winning, Bruno. You're doing very well. Good for you.
Okay. So I want to ask Bruno, which do you like better, hiking or skiing?
Mm. Mm. Yeah. Okay. Which do you like better, Terry? Cheesecake or chocolate cake?
I always prefer chocolate anything. So,
Okay.
easy question. I prefer chocolate cake. Which do you prefer, Oscar? Pizza or pasta?
Well, those are the only two things I cook, so I couldn't make a choice between my two favorite children like that. But if I had to, if you pulled my arm, I would say pizza because it's so easy to make.
You think pizza is easier than pasta to make?
Yeah, yeah. It's easy to cook then because you're not really making. You can make a pizza or you can just buy a pre-made pizza. You see what I
Now,
mean?
which do you do?
Most of the time, I buy a frozen pizza, but sometimes I make my own pizza.
All right, let me see if I can get this for you here. Hang on.
Oh wow,
That's my
that
pizza that I made Friday night.
that looks really good. Nice, good job. Did it
Thank
have a? How was the crust?
Really good.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I usually make a Napoli. I shovel over anchovies.
Uh, I think skiing and especially ski touring,
Hmm.
especially. What is ski touring? What is ski touring? See, questions.
Yeah. What is ski touring? Hmm.
And especially, did I spell that right? Especially.
Yeah.
See, yeah, okay, good. So, Bruno, what is ski touring?
Hmm.
Do you know, Oscar?
Well, you can do a ski tour. You can go to different places. So maybe that's what Bruno means is he likes skiing, but oh, it's ski out of station? Hmm. Does he mean like cross country skiing or skiing out of? Yeah, interesting. Not sure.
I'm not sure I know what that means.
Hmm.
So,
It is.
my question, Bruno, is ski touring distances that are more flat or does it involve downhill? Because if I think cross in the wild mountains,
Hmm.
in the wild mountains. Ah, okay, so not with ski lifts, but is it more on the flat with just a little up and down, like cross country skiing?
Hmm.
Interesting.
Sounds not cool though, to be able to get off the beaten path, find your own hidden secret mountain. That'd be
Uh,
pretty cool.
I would love that. So,
Yeah.
Bruno, how often do you go skiing in the winter? My last question, because we have 1 minute left. How often do you go skiing in the winter? We climb mountains. Oh, my son does this with snowboarding.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. And just one quick note, Bruno. Climb is a really strange word. It's spelled with a B, but it's a silent B. So we don't say it, but it's spelled with the silent B. So thank you, Bruno, for being so interactive. I appreciate it. And about every 20 days. All right. So thank you for all your questions and your answers. And Oscar, as always, it's a pleasure, and I'm going to let you finish
Yeah,
up.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well done, Bruno. Fantastic there. We hope you have a lovely day. Keep practicing your English, and remember your question mark after the questions. Always that question mark. Very good. Lovely. Bye.
Bye.